Lecture 8, Basic Data Exploration Commands. Let me ask you this. If someone handed you a 10,000 row spreadsheet, what's the first thing you would do? Probably scroll, skim the columns, or check if anything looks strange, right? In data science, we perform the same task, but with a few simple commands that enable us to explore quickly and clearly. In today's lecture, we will learn how to learn a dataset in Databricks using Python and Spark. These are not complex algorithms. They are practical tools to help you get to know your data before you decide what to do with it. Objectives of the lecture. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to learn basic commands to understand what's inside a dataset, practice viewing columns, checking data types, and summarizing values. Build confidence in using simple code to ask smart questions about your data. Understand why data exploration is a critical first step before analysis. Why explore first? Exploration helps answer important questions. For example, what kind of data do I have? Are there any missing values? What's the range of values? Are there any weird outliers or patterns? Just as reading a book summary before dividing into all the chapters, basic data exploration provides a big picture of your dataset. Step 1. View the first few rows. Use the display command to preview a table in Databricks. For example, you just go to Notebook and you just write a command in here as df is equal to spark.read.table and this one as samples.nyctaxi.trips. So this is basically the command to call this table of trips. And now you use display function to view the table. For example, you just write display df and press enter and click on run. So this is a table. This is often the first thing you do after importing data. It shows a scrollable table view of your dataset. So for example, you can scroll down. Yes, it has around 10,000 rows. To view just the first 5 rows in raw format, you can just click in here as code and you can just write in here as df and dot show and 5 and run this command. So here you can see it has first few rows from this as fair amount, pickup zip and drop off zip as well. Step 2. Check the schema. The schema provides the column names and data types for each one. For example, string, integer, or double. To check one, you can just click in here as code cell and type in here as df.printSchema. And just run this command. So here you can see pickup date time is timestamp, drop off date time has timestamp as well, and distance has double, fair amount is double, pickup zip is integer, and drop off zip is also integer. This is useful when you're working with unfamiliar data. You can quickly determine whether a column contains text, numbers, or dates and identify any anomalies. Real example. At companies like Spotify, data engineers routinely check the schema of their streaming logs to ensure time formats and user IDs are being captured correctly. Even a small mismatch, like a column mistakenly set as a string instead of a timestamp, can affect downstream metrics. Step 3. Count rows and columns. To get the number of rows, you can just add new code cell and type in here as df.count and this one and run this code. Here you can see it gives 21,932. To get the number of columns, you just write in here as new code cell and type in here as len and df.columns and run this command. Here you can see it shows as 6 columns. When you scroll up, here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we have 6 columns in this dataset. This indicates the size of the dataset and the amount of data you will be working with. Step 4. Get a summary of the data. Want to know the average, minimum and maximum values in numeric columns? and you can just type in here as df.describe and .show and run this command. This provides quick statistics including count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. You can also learn a single column stats like this. You can just add a new code cell and type in here as df.select, and for example you just want to go with trip distance and .describe and .show and just run this command. So here you can see you have all this summary for this specific column as count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum as well. Use this when you're trying to understand patterns or compare features. Step 5. Find distinct values and frequencies. If you're curious how many categories are in a column, you can just type in here as add a code cell first of all and type in here as df.select, and for example you just want to go with fair amount and .distinct and .show function and just run this command. And here you can see you have all this result as only showing top 20 rows. Or to count how often each value appears, you can just write in here as create another code cell and type in here as df.groupby and for example fair amount and you can go with for example .count and .show and run this command. And here you can see you have all these results and it is only showing top 20 rows. This is especially helpful when working with server results, transaction types, or product categories. Real example. At Walmart, analysts group transactions by store or payment type to spot buying patterns and regional preferences. These quick counts help identify trends before diving deeper. Analyzing data is not the flashiest part of working with it, but it's one of the most important. It's like meeting someone for the first time. Before you trust what they say, you want to know a bit about them. The same goes for datasets. With just a few simple commands, you have learned how to peek inside, check the structure, and get a feel for what's going on. These skills are utilized daily by data professionals across various industries, including marketing and public health.